Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding, songwriter. I would like to say that I know who you are, but I don't know why you're here. I am myself deceasing myself, and I'm finding the threatening that the superior founder is making, creating in the human being shunts around myself. What's wrong with it is you chew up the key, and you also exacerbate the damages by thieving everything I need for myself because I can't stop you. And I also have become a debt that way. I wasn't born a debt. I am myself deceased, but I have accumulated debt because I don't owe any emotions, and you're doing something against myself, taking away from me things that I need, money that I need, things that's appointed to myself. Everything is mine anyway because I am alive, and I am none higher than me, deceased here in alive of the formed world here. But I am supposed to have everything is for myself because I'm not the one who formed you. And you didn't pay for that ever. And it's more than that. You go all the way until every little thing I need now, every moment now. Whenever now comes up, now, there's always a now, and I have to scramble around to get what I need for myself now. And that's not what karma is. You clearly don't understand what karma is because you loiter and you shun, and because you eat food. You eat food out of the public food supply. You loiter about yourself deceased to one another and an unclean death for yourself, and you shun after you eat. You also shun about how to have a car key. You shun that as well. You shun the house keys with the car key that's parking the car. I can't afford that you've been doing that on my time. That is completely new. I've never been born this way before. So it's very angry up in heaven that I'm alive for 45 years so far, and I do have another 8 years ahead of me that are going to be expunged because I don't have any leverage to be alive with food. And that's the only leverage I ever got out of the food, and that was a lot because I don't want to be here for another 8 years for other people's problems, not even shunning, because I don't shun. For you, that would be shunning. For me, it would be like sleeping, but I can't watch my body while I'm sleeping, so I have to be awake for the time that the people are awake because I have to watch myself. And I can't just be a security guard on my own body to watch myself that I fall asleep at night. And that's what I would be doing for 8 years, is just looking after my own sleep with myself. And I can't because I can't watch the front door that way. It's true that you're out to get me because you don't actually love yourselves and you don't secure that you have any love for me. I don't see it as personally against myself until you don't really find that I am compliant with that. I would agree with you that you can do something against myself. That's not true that I would do something against myself with you. Would you do that? Would you do something against yourself with me? I don't think so. Not unless you attacked first and you were going to get something like that you speak for myself. That's what you want. You want to speak for myself. Sure, and when I die, I want to see you speaking for me in front of my God. Yeah, see you there. Until I'm out of form. I'm deceased out of form. It's not possible for me to be there for that dream of yours. I have endless stress about the Hot 1000 list of boyfriends who want to speak for me to my God in front of me, and that I might be waiting for them to finish. Sure, I do. Finish telling God about how I said yes, about how I was just trying to save myself and I didn't have a God to pray to because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. If I know you, right? If I cross paths with you, that's each of you trying to reverse the leverage. You talk over the leverage as you aliving yourself in a way you don't want to be there. And you're trying to make that I would be that to myself, and it's not alive that way for you. But you don't know that till the afterlife. But if you speak, that's what you sound like. If you say something in the afterlife to the God of myself about how I was cooperative with you against myself and against the God above myself because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time around you, that is you reversing that you are the one that is aliving around myself. You are. It's not me aliving around you. But you speak that way and you don't stop. You can't speak in front of me and I'm alive in this formed world and you don't know to stay away from me. You don't actually know how to stay away from me. You don't understand. You don't really know what I am. And you don't have what it takes to appear in the afterlife in front of me and speak. You can't speak in front of me, but you're there and you're speaking and you can't be in front of me, but you are because I'm right here. And when I die, you're still going to be too close to myself. So, who are the Hot 1000 list of boyfriends? Well, it got started by that. Charles Toe took me to see a homeopath named Dr. Masood. And Mr. Masood. Does he have credentials or not? It's not known. He had an office space in a dentist's offices. Yeah, an office space for a homeopath at a dentist's office. So Charles Toe was in the waiting room and I was in the office with the homeopath, and the homeopath invited Charles Toe into his office for the consultation as well. I don't know why, because I need to see a homeopath about my house. Not that there's some home invasion into my house. So Mr. Masood or Dr. Masood was not entirely helpful, but he did ask me this question. How many? So I told him 2. And then he said, and I had to wait. And when I went home here, when I came back to this apartment here, I made a list of how many boyfriends I have who would call themselves nothing, because a boyfriend doesn't say he's a boyfriend, and he doesn't say he has a girlfriend. He's an offender. Well, the question was unsanitary for a homeopath to ask me that. What are you? So I started to write down the list of all the sexual abuse history of myself. And it was more than a cry because I had the count up to about 67, something like that. 67 boyfriends. I could name who they are or describe where they were and who they were, where they were, sometime in my history. And then the list went up after that. So I call a Hot 1000 list of boyfriends because I'm estimating there are more. Based on that, I don't have a car, and I haven't been driving a car since the year 2002. I don't have a driver's license since the year 2006. I turned in my driver's license, and I wanted to just tell the Department of Motor Vehicles that my driver's license was going to expire, but I wanted a new Nevada state ID for at the time I was there, which was not on the expiration date of the driver's license. And they asked me what was my reason for wanting a Nevada state ID and not having a driver's license. And I said mental illness, diagnosis mental illness. And they did give me the Nevada state ID for that reason. But that's not the reason they should have given it to me. They should have given it to me because the driver's license has an expiration date on it so that nobody has to answer that question to them. But I did have the leverage to get them to ask me that question. And I am right here deceased out of the question of mental illness. I'm not mentally ill right here. I don't actually go into the hospital anymore. I've had my last hospitalization. I'm saying that now for the police who might be watching this video. Yeah. If you want to offer me something to eat next time you're here, you can bring me fast food and I'll eat it. Just no pork. I don't eat pork. If the police don't have money, they should be able to get the food anyway because they have a gun. If they don't, they should try to get a job with their gun working at the fast food restaurant until they can get the food for me. Then they can leave.